Hi there, and welcome to Take Five. I am Jolie Fisher. I am SAG-AFTRA National Secretary Treasurer. I am a proud national board member, a butcher, a baker, a candlestick maker, a mother of five, a 40-year member. I'm an actor. And today on Take Five, I'm being joined by rock star Jen Gaudry. She is SAG-AFTRA's Executive Director of Contract Enforcement and Strategy. And today we are discussing the sexiest topic, okay? It's a little dense, but it's really important, residuals. So here we're going to unpack what they are, how do they work, and most importantly, who gets them. Welcome, Jen Gaudry.
Thank you. Good to see you, Julie.
Why don't we just start with the basics? Just tell us what's a residual and who gets them?
So, residual is compensation paid to principal performers when their show does something original salary, their initial comp didn't cover.
So, you mentioned initial comp. Tell us what that is.
So, when a performer goes to work, day player, weekly series, whatever it is, and we have union minimums in place, those cover not just your work, but some sort of initial exhibition. And that initial exhibition is generally limited. So at the point when the show does something else that wasn't covered by that, that's when residuals are applicable.
And where did the idea of residuals come from?
So really started both SAG and AFTRA, right, for theatrical and TV shows. In the 60s, we got residuals for theatrical pictures showing up on television. About the mid-50s for reruns of live programs that were then getting taped and rerun on television. You know, the thinking being if they're filling that time with something other than a live program, they're really taking work away. So there needs to be compensation for that.
So, and you're talking about the 50s and the 60s. It's 2025. How have residuals evolved over time?
So when there are new markets, we want new residuals, right? We want to get paid for that use. You guys, the actors. A lot of the time it's taken a strike to get there. But, you know, first it was that addition of the pay television stations like HBO, Showtime, and home video, the old cassettes and DVDs, now new media with the streaming. So as those new ways of distributing pictures show up, we need to go in and get compensation for the pictures showing up on those platforms.
And so who is eligible for these residuals and who isn't?
So be principal performers. That's a big category, right? Actors, singers, dancers, stunt performers, pilots, and so on and so on. Background actors are not principal performers, and body doubles are also not included in residuals. But so long as you're a principal performer and your either voice or on-camera performance remains in the picture when it's released, then you're entitled to residuals.
No residuals if you're on the cutting room floor.
Right.
Well, this has been so informative. And I just, before we wrap up, what's the most important sort of big picture takeaway that members should understand about this concept of residuals?
So I'd say two things. One, understand what your salary is paying for, right? What's that initial release? How much is it covering? And then second is sort of a don't count those chickens before they're hatched. Pay attention to what's either in your direct deposit pipeline or getting mailed to you. You can check the SAG-AFTRA residuals tracker, but there are so many different formulas and so many moving parts. It's really best to just sort of wait until you actually see that money before you make an assumption about how much it's going to be. And of course, if you think residuals are due to you and you're not seeing them show up, reach out to us. We will go chase that money for you 100%.
That was like drinking out of a fire hose. Thank you, Jen, so much for all that helpful information. If you'd like to learn more about how TV theatrical residuals work, go to sagaftra.org/residuals. And I feel a part 2 coming on. Let's get on here and talk about SVOD and maybe even a part 3 to talk about commercials. So don't forget to subscribe to the SAG-AFTRA YouTube channel for more episodes of Take Five.